Piney Grove is at a John Deere dealer. This is not gonna be cheap. So I was thinking if we upsized our Kubota to a John Deere, we'd probably want the 4044. This is a good looking tractor right here.
What's up guys, Brad here from Piney Grove, and a few weeks ago I bought this used John Deere. It's actually a Frontier made by John Deere, finish mower, but it needs some work. And a couple things that I found out as soon as I bought it was, number one, the blades were worn out. Number two, the gearbox has water in it, so we got to drain that. I bought a new belt, but the old belt looks like it'll go for a little bit longer. And one of the casters was bent, so I have a new caster to put on it. So I've been working on it for about 30 minutes now, pulling off all the covers, and this thing hasn't seen much use, but it also hasn't seen much maintenance or care. So the covers came off real hard. I had to use vice grips and an impact to get them off, but they're off, and now I can clearly see what I need to do. If you're not familiar with belt-driven mowers, usually there's going to be some sort of idler that's spring-loaded, and that holds tension on the belt. And this is that idler there. So that one goes to a spindle, this one goes to a spindle, and that one over there goes to a spindle. It's a 3-bladed mower, 72-inch, 6-foot wide. But this idler pulley is what keeps the belt tight. So you can see the belt is loose because I've got the idler held with a little ratchet strap. So here's the spring to the idler, and it's an arm that pivots in there, and I've hooked this ratchet strap to one side of that arm, and I got it pretty tight, but that's all I need to change the belt. And the reason I have to get that belt loose is because I have to take this gearbox off. Now after looking at it for a bit, it looks like this bolt, and there's two just like it on the other side. They have captivated nuts. I should be able to spin those 4 bolts off, take this whole assembly off, and then I'll be able to turn that gearbox upside down and clean it out. Most all of these mowers are going to take a gearbox, which brings in the PTO power from the tractor, and change the direction of it, and then run some spindles. So I figured it couldn't be that hard to work on, and the good thing is that this whole assembly should come off easily. I actually bought some John Deere paint, which goes for about $15 a can, because I want to sand this down and paint it. But we got a lot of things going on here at Piney Grove, so probably not going to get to that. I just want to get it running and get it on the tractor and see if it works, basically. Okay, that bolt came out real easy. I'm going to take one off on the other side. If you're wondering what size, it's 9/16. Okay, that one came out easy. I'm going to loosen up the third one. I'll loosen up this fourth one. So now I got to see if I can lift it. I think I need a little leverage to get above it. So far, I'm just shocked at how easy this is. It's not real light, but it's not real heavy either. When I bought this, I knew there was water in the gearbox. In fact, it's one of the things I always check when I buy like a brush hog or any kind of mower. I didn't buy a new gasket for this, so this may leak after we're done, but I really don't care. I can always reseal it from the top. It's very exposed and easy to get to. And you can see that is not the color of gear oil. It's obviously had some water in it. And who knows how that water got in there. I don't think it's been submerged. But I don't want to spill this on my clean concrete, so I'm going to get it over to here and then tip it. And if a little bit gets on the cardboard, that should be okay. All right, here goes nothing. That's just gross. There's nothing wrong with the gears. They're going to be fine. There's no rust or anything, but none of the seals are leaking that I can see. Now that that milky oil is out, you can look in there and see those gears are perfectly fine. A lot of people won't touch used equipment for this reason right here. These things are made to take a lot of abuse or use. Yeah, that's cleaning it up real good. Yeah, I won't be worried about this at all. There's the pulley. All right, I'm going to call that good. Definitely better than the way I bought it. I really wanted to get in here, sand it down, and paint it, but just don't have time for that. So I've scraped up all the loose paint and the dirt that's in here. I'm just gonna blow it out. I guess I'll save the refurb or the actual repainting for another video. I'm gonna go ahead and hit what I can reach under here with a wire brush. That way it'll be done. Hopefully I never have to take that gearbox off again though. I may never take that gearbox off again, so I'm going to go ahead and at least prime these areas of rust underneath the gearbox. I love this stuff, Rust-Oleum Rusty Metal Primer. All right, time to put the gearbox back on. Gearbox is mounted. I just have to tighten the 4 bolts. I didn't record it because I thought it might go bad, and this is safe for children. But it actually didn't go bad at all. I'm actually not going to put the impact on it. I'm just going to go ahead and use the ratchet. That way I won't strip it. And get the final torque with this hinge handle so I don't put too much stress on the ratchet. I don't have a torque wrench, but that ain't going anywhere. And I'm going to loosen up my strap here. I think the belt's where it needs to be. That belt seems fine. I bought a new belt, but this one seems like it'll last a little while. The new belt was $100, so I'm gonna try and get as much as I can out of this old belt. That might be a mistake. All right, time to fill this gearbox. We're gonna service this with some GM synthetic axle lubricant. It's the same as 90 weight gear oil, except it's synthetic. And I had it left over from servicing my truck, so that's what's going in here. That was 1 quart, and what you're supposed to do is take this plug out here, and when oil starts coming out of that plug, you know you have enough. But if you look in there, you can see the side where that plug is, right in there. You can see the oil is right up to it. If you're wondering how much oil a John Deere GM3072 finish mower takes in the gearbox, 1 quart. Next thing we're gonna do is swap out this wheel. This caster right here is bent, so I got a new caster. I think that was $89. The total that I have into this servicing or rebuilding or whatever you want to call it of this mower is about $500 in parts. That includes new blades, which 3 blades were $100. The belt was $100. This was $89. Oh, I got a front anti-scalping kit. I'm not going to put that in today though. So I got a new wheel from the guy I bought it from. And it's a good thing because it looks like the center of that one's messed up, and it probably got messed up when this got bent. That's way wider than that one. Don't know what to say about that. Well, that was $89. Not well spent because that's way wider. Wheel was messed up pretty bad, so maybe we got lucky with this part. So we're still going to have a bent caster, but at least the center of our hub won't be as worn out. So that new wheel I put together, I had to take it apart because the grease fitting wouldn't take grease. So I took it all apart, cleaned it out, got the grease fitting to take grease, put it all back together. So the last step is to put on new blades. So I'm going to take these blades off and show them to you. You've probably never seen blades this worn out. It's 15/16. I think that's the same as 22 millimeter. So have you ever seen blades that worn out? The high lift portion's completely gone. They're completely rounded off. Hope they fit since that wheel didn't fit. Looks like the same diameter hole. And now new blades are not like razor sharp. There's an edge to it, a little edge, but they don't want it too sharp because it'll round off too quick. This is a rear discharge mower, so all these blades should wear equally as opposed to like a zero turn, which shoots the grass out to the side. The blade that sees the most grass, which I think is the blade by the chute, that one wears out the quickest. Probably torque value for this. I'm going to try not to over tighten it. And down, 2 to go. Even though these sawhorses will hold 1,100 pounds apiece, I don't want to get under here too far. So that one had 2 washers on it. This one may be worn out more than that other one. I think she's ready, guys. I'm gonna hook this thing up, do a little cutting. I honestly don't think I've ever hooked one of these up before. Super simple. All that work, but does she mow? I really should wait till tomorrow. I'm way late getting home. But I got to find out. And you guys want to find out too. You want to see that thing mow, don't you? If Deb gives me any slack for coming home late, I'll tell them y'all wanted to see it mow. That thing cuts really good. Like Brian Adams says, cuts like a knife. Now that one tail wheel that's messed up, that definitely needs to be replaced. That thing's skidding left and right. But this is tall Bahia grass. It's overgrown, shouldn't be this tall. Just haven't been able to get around to cutting it. That's perfectly, every blade is cut. There's no stem sticking up. There's very little residue because it's a rear discharge mower. I'm gonna count that as a win, guys. Sure appreciate you guys watching. If you would, click that like button. Otherwise, until the next one, y'all take care out there. And remember, life's short, tractor hard.